All right, and we're getting more analysis on this, Peter?
Yes, indeed. We're now joined from our Durban studio by political analyst Xolani Dube. Mr. Dube, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program. So, I remember post the last local government elections, we saw a shifting of the sands in the running of the major metros in the country. I wonder if what's happening in Johannesburg is another shift that will have a ripple effect in Tshwane maybe. We've already seen Nelson Mandela Bay, the first of those changes in the last elections, shifting the sands. What's going to happen next to the political landscape after today?
I think the sand is not shifting outside the kraal, it's shifting within the kraal, meaning that there might be no difference, to be quite honest, Peter, as well as to the South Africans. But what is more glaring is the fact that it seems as if our democracy is really needed to be reviewed, especially our electoral system, because here what is so sad is that the real stakeholders, the real people who are supposed to have a voice, they are in darkness. They are so ignorant of what is happening in that kraal. And so it's so sad. And I think that the people of South Africa now is the time to start to have a serious and a robust and honest debate about the electoral system, because the sand is not shifting outside the kraal, but it is within the kraal. And when you look at the candidates that are being put forward, surely there is so much reservation to number of South Africans around the people that are supposed to lead that particular metro, the Johannesburg.
So what is an alternative? Because, you know, you vote in the local government elections and then things happen in between. And we have to leave it to the politicians to sort out. But as you say, we may get candidates that we don't want, but there's nothing we can do.
I think that attitude of saying there is nothing that we can do, that's the defeatist one, because we have, as South Africans, democracy and freedom comes with responsibility. You don't simply forsaking the responsibility to keep on reviving, keep on reshaping and reimagining structures that are supposed to give us voice in that kraal where you are saying the sand might be shifting, and where I'm saying there is no shifting sand out of that kraal. And so I think we need really civil societies that will really speak on behalf of South Africans, because you look, the politicians, they know very well that once we deposit our vote in that ballot box, there is nothing there after that we can do. And so this is a classical example of how the electorate is being disempowered after they voted, after they've been canvassed on particular manifestos. Because when you look at this coalition that are being muted in that metro, is a clear indication that when this politician comes to us and starts to throw stones at different political parties, they are just paying a lip service, because they know that at the end of the day, they belong to the same class, the black political elite, and as the general electorate, we become kind of their victim. Or because look currently, if the EFF is going to have a coalition with the DA, are we supposed to take them serious on what they've said to us? If the IFP is going to have a coalition with the ANC, are we going to take the IFP serious about what they've been telling us in terms of how this municipality, this metro in Johannesburg, the ANC has ravaged beyond repair? And so that's why I'm saying whatever that they are telling us during manifestos or during the electoral time, we have to take it with a pinch of salt and know very well that these guys have a forked tongue. And so it's us as South Africans that need really to have kind of a firewall. And that firewall can be our civil society that needs to protect us from them.
All right, so do you think that there will be major deal making here? I mean, there were thoughts that the EFF said, give us Tshwane will give you Johannesburg to the DA. The ANC will probably have to sweeten the pot for the EFF if they want to get their vote. What kind of deals can be struck, and can they hold, given what we saw happen in Nelson Mandela Bay?
Look, as you are clearly putting it, this is just a subversion of democracy. And if EFF really can Novella become the mayor of Johannesburg, I can assure you that will be a disgrace to the concepts of democracy. Because it was Julius Malema who have been telling South Africans that, look, let the people's voice dictate who's supposed to ascend to the throne. But if a person who has not been voted in majority today is contesting to be a mayor, that is a serious folk tongue, that's a serious flip-flopping from the EFF, and also in the Nelson Mandela Bay, the stalemate that we witness there, it shows that even the ratepayers in that particular municipality are not taken into consideration. And come to KwaZulu-Natal, there is also a municipality there where ANC cadres are at loggerhead with each other or amongst each other, and there is no mayor in that municipality. And so that's why I'm saying it seems as if the electorate or the general electorate, they always forsake their responsibility of monitoring and evaluating this political organization, and then they act as if this political organization or these politicians are the saints. And we know very well, the history is telling us that the politicians are not saints, but they are just scavengers who scavenge on our hope, and we need to be vigilant as society so that at the end of the day, we are not made fools by these politicians.
All right, given the events of recent weeks, can the DA afford to lose another major metro?
Look, DA currently, no one knows what it stands for. We thought that we know, but now it seems as if we are really confused. But we understand that we need not to look DA outside the spectrum, or we need also to look DA as another political organization that is there for self-saving. Because what they are doing and what they've been telling us when they said Mashaba can go and the DA can go and be in a coalition with the EFF because of the corruption and so forth. But today, we can see that behind the scene, there is so much kind of sweet talking between the DA and the EFF, and it leaves us with kind of confusion. But the fact of the matter is, it still remains. DA is a political party that is not different from the ANC, that is not different from EFF or any other minority party in our country. They are a political organization.
All right, Mr. Dube, thanks very much indeed. I'm sure that we'll be chatting again in the coming days just to make sense of what has happened since the elections. Thanks very much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us today. That was political analyst Xolani Dube joining us from our Durban studios.